If you're guilty, you should be punished. This is the second in a series of videos about cosplayers that are out there that are causing all kinds of drama in the community. Am I one of them? Perhaps. But my controversial comments usually come out of a place of truth, out of a place of justice. See, right now there's something going on out there between me and another cosplayer who used to be a friend of mine, but we had a falling out, and now, you know what, Erica? You always wanted your own video. Well, guess what? You're not going to get your own video this time either, because I have a lot to say about a lot of people. However, the issue between you and I goes back to a very simple thing, and that is that number one, you're delusional. Number two, you think the entire world revolves around you. And number three, you love drama. It's very simple, see? You and your family are actually lucky that you ever had a person like me in your life. Was I lucky on some levels? Perhaps. But why in the hell would I ever want to hang around with such a negative bunch? I never wanted to know. And to be honest with you, you know, you talk about that I'm a problem and I'm making trouble, and that I'm talking bad about you. But every time you get an opportunity, you love to go out and just say all kinds of bad stuff about me. You can't wait to do it. And the bottom line is that your family was lucky to have me because you guys are socially inept. To be a family like you are is like a bunch of nerds, a bunch of morons, and then you were lucky that I came into your life and showed you a life. But now you go back to an issue where you dressed up like Princess Leia, and I jokingly, maybe it was in poor taste, or maybe I shouldn't have said it, but I jokingly swore that I was not going to compare you to Carrie Fisher or fat shame you, and then you took that as me actually fat shaming you. This coming from a woman, you, who always claims to have a thick skin about things. Well, I immediately tried to apologize, but no. You had to come out with the profanities, you had to come out with the anger, you had to come out with the hate. Now let's flash forward here. Your daughter, she winds up in the hospital. You reached out to me to let me know what was going on, and I was very moved by the situation. I made a point of going out and doing all I could to make awareness to your daughter being in the hospital. I donated what I could, albeit it was only $5, but it's all I had to my name at the time, and it came from the heart. I turn around and I post something on my page about my personal feelings about cosplay, my personal feelings about different characters and the way they should be performed, not naming any names, mind you, but you insist that that post had something to do with you. Just because you took it to heart, just because you took it to a personal level, does not mean that I was going out to do something purposely to harm you at that point. But that's the way you wanted to see it. And no amount of my telling you otherwise would make you change your mind. And so as a result, you turned around and you caused all kinds of grief again for me, and I just had about enough of it. So that's why the continuous posts and the continuous little battle that we've been having going back and forth. Now, you say that I've been fat shaming you for months. Sweetheart, I don't care that much about worrying about bothering with you for months at a time. What I wanted you to do was I wanted you to stop this senseless battle. And I was ignoring your page at first, but then I thought, well, she's trolling my page, let's see what you're saying, because even though people told me not to bother with it, I'll be damned if I'm going to have somebody out there slinging mud and I'm not going to sling it back. Everybody knows that I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be on that level. So now you start posting things purposely intending to hurt me, which is not what originally happened between you and I, because as you know, and as I stated, I would never do something like that on purpose. But your misconception of me, you've misconstrued everything, and so as a matter of fact, you're the one that's delusional, you're the one that has a problem inside your head, and you're the one that's a mean and nasty person deep down on many levels. So in which case I come to your husband. Dave, You always have a tendency, every single time something goes wrong between myself and your evil wife, to take her side. Sure, she's your wife, so I understand it. But it's hurtful and it's deceitful for you to constantly like her posts, for you to constantly listen to what she's saying without even having taken my side of it after all that we had been through. The both of you, look around your house and see all the things that are lying around in there, if you still have them, that I gave you from my heart. I gave you clothes, I gave you costumes, I gave you opportunities, I gave you love. But no, you took it and you threw it all back in my face. Now that's fine, because I've moved on. I've moved on just like I did my Real Heroes team. Which brings me to somebody else, which is my former Bane, which is Lawrence Panis, because I know you're sitting out there watching this, and I hear through the grapevine that you said that you were better off in your life without me. Well, guess what, pal? Just like the McKennas, I gave you a life. I gave you job opportunities, I gave you the opportunity to cosplay and be somebody, and you're out there now and you're telling everybody that you're better off without me. Well, I'm the one that's better off without you. Just like that whole group that we ran with before, Johnny Lako, who I never really forgave for going out with my ex-wife. I'm going on record saying that right now. Manny Vasquez, who just has a bad attitude, a chip on his shoulder all the time, and I couldn't hang around with that anymore. So, now going out, and we rewind time, now I see Ryan Issa, who used to be part of my Iron Web. He's out there and he's cosplaying again. You met Stan Lee, that's great. But I still can't forget, speaking of daughters, what happened to your daughter and how hurtful it was, and the experience, how painful it was. But I was there for you. I want you to remember that I made you a poster, I took care of business, I was a friend, and yet you still stay hiding in the woodwork because your wife tells you that I'm not good for you anymore. And that's fine. Again, I've moved on. So this commentary goes out based upon all of this. There are so many in the community that think they do right. Last year, they tried to destroy my cosplay career through no reason at all other than a revenge plot or motives that are still unknown, but it didn't happen, did it? I've aligned myself with better groups. I'm out there now. I've got my own group, which is the Iron Web of Justice. I'm adding the Punisher now to the roster because the Punisher is part of me. I am the Punisher of Las Vegas. So this is a simple, short commentary on the experiences that I've been going through recently and putting it out there to you guys that sometimes things are not always black and white. Sometimes things are not always the way they look on the surface. And sometimes, more often than not, the hero is the one that gets crucified. Remember, if you're guilty, I'll always punish you. Where's my 9mm? It's right here at my side. I didn't pull it out here for this video because I don't need a whole group of panic again running in the streets like when Frankenstein's monster came out and Dracula came out in the movie theaters back in the 20s and 30s, and the War of the Worlds came on the radio show and people were running in the streets as if the Walking Dead were out to get them. Last summer, I had my gun on camera and all you guys went nuts because you're all losers and you're all wimps and you're all weaklings. Well, guess what, guys? I'm not. The strong stands. I am the Punisher of Las Vegas. I am the cosplay king of the Iron Web of Justice. And every time that you try to stand up to me and bow up to me and cause me a problem, you'll get more angst, you'll get more videos, you'll get more retribution. The guilty will be punished.
You know, those people, ones I put down, I want you to know that I do it all again. This is a circus, all right? It's a charade, it's an act. It's bullshit about how crazy I am. I ain't crazy. I'm not crazy, okay? I know what I did. I know who I am. And I do not need your help. I'm smack dab in the middle of my right goddamn mind, and any scumbag, any lowlife, any maggot piece of shit that I put down, I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I'm saying I'm just itching. I'm itching to do it again. And you think what? You think you're gonna send me to a nut house? Some doctor, they're gonna get me to stop from doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening. Not on my watch. You people, you call me the Punisher, ain't that right? The big bad Punisher. Yeah! You want it?
Remove the witness.
I am the Punisher. I'm right here. You want it? I'll give it to you. Anybody who came here today, hear me whine, hear me beg, you can kiss my ass. You hear me? I'm guilty. I'm plead, Judge. I'm guilty. You hear me?